my friend. Let's start in a heart bench. Let me know, give me a wave if you do not have two blocks. Okay, right. Victoria, thank you. I'm gonna mute everyone's microphone, and I'll invite you always to pop back on if that would be helpful.
Let me tell you that I have tried to buy blocks and they are all sold out.
Oh, yeah, of
I
course.
think a lot of people are doing this from home.
Meet me at Wake Up Yoga South. I'll sell you some from the back alley. There's a lot of things I'm lacking in my life, but right now I've got a lot of yoga blocks. I am rich in bolsters, blankets, straps. Oh my God, 3 yoga studios all squished into the one. So seriously, if anyone wants to meet me down there in the back alley, I will sell you some props. All right, scooch a little pooch. So if you don't have, go ahead, come on up here for a second. Come on up. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can take a blanket and make it like a long rectangle and then roll it up. Hi, Laura, I see your name, not your face, but welcome. And if you have a blanket but not a block, you can make like a long noodle with the blanket and place the blanket right at your sacrum, your lower back. This right now. And lay back if you have this blanket under your spine, and then the end of the blanket, hopefully you could curl up to make like a little pillow or support for your skull, for the back of your head. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. So if you have 2 blocks, one of the blocks goes on the tallest height, and that's near the back of your mat, and that will support the base of your skull. And the other block is on the narrow side. So just to realize that what we're doing, we're coming into this shape, and the shape is really about having the heart uplifted and then the chin tucking in. So the idea is that the block under the head is higher than the block under the heart. And position yourself hopefully so that it is comfortable. And again, if you have a question, if you're not quite sure, please unmute your microphone and know that everyone who is practicing with you today would want you to ask the question so that you are comfortable, so that you get what you need in class. And what a beautiful thing that all of us taking this class could be rooting for one another. It's so sort of natural or normal to wish for our own fulfillment, let's say. But when you can take it and extend outward to really wish that everyone will get what they need, what they want, there's well, for me anyway, there's a sweetness to that. So always, if you're not quite sure, raise a hand and wave at your device, so I know that you are looking for a little extra something. Inhale and receive the breath deeply. Exhale and sigh. Yeah. So let yourself really melt into the shape. Let your eyes close. Let your jaw drop. Feel like the front of your body plays that game of trust with the back of your body and gives all of its weight downward and feel so comforted realizing that the back of your body catches you. And then likewise, allow the back of your body to play this game of trust with the earth. Give your weight fully and feel so gratified that the earth is there to hold you. Notice if you are holding on, if you're holding tension. It's occurred to me, we have this word, we say like to brace oneself. And that idea that you could hold in or hold it together or brace. And I think that's necessary. And I think a lot of us are bracing a lot of the day right now. We're bracing. It's just now occurring to me that the word embrace might have its similar root. So embrace, embrace, and maybe yoga practice, maybe yin yoga can really be about unbracing. So with the situation we are living through, I really think that there's something in the background that's taking up a lot of our bandwidth. I don't have as much clarity. I don't feel like I have as much stamina. I'm not as able to multitask. And so maybe you too are noticing some shifts in how you relate with your life. There may be times in your day when your motivation is indeed to fix what you perceive is broken or amend what is not working. I think yin yoga, more than anything, instead of trying to fix anything, is a place where you get to notice what is so. So a few more breaths here. I'd like to plant one more seed, perhaps for the practice, and that is the notion that we all have this voice in our head that is thinks it's in charge. It's making decisions. It's measuring and comparing, preferring, strategizing. It thinks it's in charge, and it may be a bully. It may bully different aspects of who we are. So maybe while you're practicing yoga, you could ask questions of your body, ask questions of your heart, ask questions of your spirit or your soul. And then let that voice shut up and listen. Listen for the answers that may be revealed to you in a breath pattern, that may be revealed to you in sensation, whether that's an ache or a throb, a tingle, a shudder. whether that's revealed to you in memories or imagination. Let's inhale together and exhale, sigh. Do whatever you like with your legs. Maybe they stay as they are. Maybe your knees come to the sky. Maybe your legs go long. Press your elbows down. Tuck your chin into your throat. And come up towards sitting. You might enjoy bringing your feet to the ground and folding forward. Let your whole spine round. You might even widen your feet a little bit so there's lots of space for you to hug in on yourself. You could even take your arms and clasp underneath your legs. Hold your elbows, hold your forearms. If your hands are touching your legs or your knees, you might caress. You might give yourself a gentle massage or a gentle caress, a loving gesture. Let's go ahead and inhale and sit up. And let's come to a seat where you're sitting on a blanket or two blankets or a block. If it's possible to elevate your hips, maybe you're on a meditation cushion. If it's possible to elevate your hips so that your hips are higher than your knees so that you can sit with a degree of elegance in your spine, then go ahead and do that. Close your eyes. And notice how you are, which is never ever one thing. You're a whole bunch of things. You are a conglomeration of ways of being, of feeling, sensations. So let your awareness spread out to welcome, to embrace all of you. Let's flip the left palm up to face the sky and link the index finger nail into the first crease of the thumb, creating a Jnana Mudra, or wisdom seal. And then undo it for a moment. Let your awareness dance in the palm of the hand. And then do it again. Link the index fingernail to the crease of the thumb and let yourself be captivated by nuance to discover if there's any effect this has. We know everything affects everything. Become really subtle in your awareness. Bring your right hand up toward your face. Your first two fingers can rest on your forehead, and the thumb covers the right nostril. The ring finger covers the left nostril. It's a little awkward for sure, so acknowledge that. Let's inhale, receive the breath through both nostrils, and exhale through both nostrils. Close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale, left side, 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale, right side, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right side, 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale, left side. That was one round of Nadi Shodhana. Inhale, left side, 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale, right side, 3. Inhale, right side, 3. Close right, exhale, left side. That was 2 rounds. Continue a few more rounds on your own. This is called Nadi Shodhana, or energy pathway purification breath. Your breath might move longer, 4 beats or 6 beats or 8 beats. See if inhale and exhale can be about the same duration. Notice the expression on your face. Could you soften? Could you broaden your eyebrows and relax the skin around your eyes. Relax your jaw. This breath is said to balance the two hemispheres of the brain. It's believed to balance the sympathetic with the parasympathetic aspects of the autonomic nervous system. Some might say it calms the mind. And I believe it's so powerful to simply do this simple breathing exercise for, let's say, 2 minutes to shift how you feel, how you are. And it's just good to put in your toolbox some of the things you learn on the yoga mat. So you know if you're feeling a little upregulated, if just you're feeling a little stressed out, you could do this simple breath and maybe that could create a little space. The next time that you exhale through the left nostril, whenever that is, release your hand back down. You might have both hands in Jnana Mudra or both hands empty. And let yourself feel, let yourself notice. As we practice yin yoga, you're welcome to employ ujjayi breathing, and you don't have to. Ujjayi is that lightly aspirated whisper-like sound created by lightly constricting the base of the throat. It moves energy a little deeper. It is a warming breath, but it also could help you stay present if you want to run screaming from your yoga mat. Let's go ahead and open the eyes. And we'll stretch the right leg forward and bring the left foot. You have a couple of choices here. So the right leg goes forward. The left foot can come to the inside of the right thigh. We'll fold over the right leg. Since I'm facing the camera, the computer, I'm gonna do a mirror image depending on your orientation. Just listen to the side I'm saying. So if it feels good in your body, if you prefer, you can bend your left knee, internally rotate the thigh, and then abduct it to the side. So they're sometimes called a hurdler's lunge. We'll fold over the right leg, and if you have blocks and you like using them, your blocks can support your elbows, your palms can support your head, or you can lower down even more. The idea with yin yoga is that you completely relax the area that you are targeting. So you don't engage your muscles, you don't lengthen your spine, you're not seeking a particular alignment, but rather letting yourself feel what you feel and how you feel it. So the right leg goes long. You can either have your left foot on the inside top of your right leg. Some people are just joining, so I'm gonna say it over again. You can have the left foot at the inside top of the right leg to fold over the right leg. Or you can bend the left knee, internally rotate and abduct to fold over the right leg. And again, if you have blocks, you can use your blocks as elbow supports or a forehead support. In time, you might be able to lower them. If you don't have these supports, no problem. Let yourself fold. The idea with yin yoga is rather than engaging muscles, rather than using effort, it's not a strengthening practice. idea is to let yourself melt, let yourself sink. I love the idea that you could imagine yourself to be an intricately carved ice sculpture shaped like you, slowly melting in time. What I especially love about that image is that when an ice sculpture melts and becomes water, its essence remains the same, but its form has shifted. And through yin yoga, you might shift your form and still connect with your essence. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. The possibility that instead of bracing yourself, you could unbrace yourself. Embrace yourself as you unbrace. Notice where the breath has access, where the breath might feel limited. Without bullying your breath, without bullying your body in any way, be curious about how deeply you can breathe. Like puffing yourself up from the inside, how expansive. And lately this week, I'm really curious about if it's possible to get the breath more fully through the mid-rib cage. Just a few more breaths here. Let's inhale, receive the breath deeply. And exhale, sigh. Walk your hands under your armpits, press down, lift your torso up. Pause for a moment. You can use your left hand to lift your left knee. Keep it bent. If it's behind you, keep it bent. You can hold the shin bone so that when you rotate the leg, you move the hip, you move the thigh bone, and then stretch the leg and roll the ankle, rub your knee. And then you'll bend your right knee, bring the right foot to the inside top of the left leg. Or bend the knee, internally rotate and abduct. Fold over the left leg using any support you have. You're certainly welcome. I didn't say it on the first side, sorry, but you could sit up on a blanket. If you start to fold and realize your pelvis doesn't come along, you might want to bend your knee to roll over your leg. Good, nice. So this possibility that your whole practice could be asking questions and then listening with your whole heart to decode the secret languages of your spirit, of your body, of your heart. Idea of soul. There's a couple of poems in this really beautiful collection called The Poetry of Presence. This little section seems to do with things that are broken. So Rosemary Watola Traumer wrote in a piece she calls The Way It Is. Over and over, we break open. We break, and we break, and we open. For a while, we try to fix the vessel, as if to be broken is bad. As if with glue and tape and a steady hand, we might bring things to perfect again. As if they were ever perfect. As if to be broken is not also perfect. As if to be open is not the path toward joy. I'm going to read that again. Over and over, we break open. We break, and we break, and we open. For a while, we try to fix the vessel as if to be broken is bad. As if with glue and tape and a steady hand, we might bring things to perfect again, as if they were ever perfect. As if to be broken is not also perfect. As if to be open is not the path toward joy. The vase that's been shattered and cracked will never hold water. Eventually, it will leak. And at some point, perhaps we decide that we are done with picking our flowers anyway and no longer need a place to contain them. We watch them grow just as wildflowers do, unfenced, unmanaged, blossoming only when they're ready. And my God, how beautiful they are amidst the mounting pile of shards. Inhale here. Exhale, sigh. Use your hands, lift your torso up, pause, feel. Let's bend this left knee and bring the soles of the feet to touch. Draw the heels in pretty close to the pelvic floor. And just recognize this is one choice. Hi, Katarina. I see Indira Devi is all over the place. You can have your feet together with your heels closed to fold forward, to feel your inner thighs. If you prefer bringing your legs out to a wide angle to fold forward, you can do that. If you prefer bringing the big toes to touch and letting your knees go wide to fold forward, you can do that. You might even bring your feet wider if this is your choice. Some of you have been practicing yin yoga for a long, long time, and you might have another way of targeting your inner thighs. If you're near the wall and you want to put your feet on the wall or put your legs up the wall, or if you're near a bed and you want to put your feet on the edge of the bed, the idea is to position yourself so you feel your inner thighs. And again, as ever, as always, let me know if I can be helpful in some way. Especially when the people practicing have been coming to my class for a long time, I might make assumptions that are not accurate. I might make assumptions that you are 100% certain of how to practice this way. So let me remind you to relax your muscles and relax your jaw, to practice unbracing, to practice being an ice sculpture slowly melting, to let yourself open up and crack. Finding the beauty in what might be considered an imperfection. Asking questions. What does your body need? What does your body want? Ask your heart how it's doing. Does your spirit feel free? Or does it feel imprisoned, impinged upon, or throttled? Some general rules for yin yoga. We're never targeting the knees. You never want to feel the strain or the stretch or the compression in your knees. So if you need help getting it out of your knees and into your, in this case, inner thigh or lower back, let me know. And just a few more breaths here. Let's inhale together. And exhale, sigh. Use your hands to help lift yourself up. And pause and feel, listen. We'll practice something for the outer hips. If your legs are out at a wide angle, it might be kind to use your hands to bend your knees. So most of you have been practicing yin yoga for a long time. Rather than me telling you which shape to come into, I'll give you some options. The first option for your outer hip, maybe the most accessible, would be to lie on your back, cross your right ankle onto your left knee and draw the knee in. Anyone who's near a wall or near a support, you could step your left foot on the wall or on the support. Another option would be to stack your right shin on top of your left shin to fold forward. Another option is to thread the right thigh over the left thigh to fold forward. And then one final option would be to have your right leg forward and your left leg long, a pose that's commonly called pigeon pose, but here would be called sleeping swan. And so that was a really rapid exploration. I'm going to do it again in case you weren't quite sure. The first option would be to lay on your back, cross your right ankle onto your left knee, wrap your hands around your left thigh. The right hand comes in between the legs and you draw the leg in. Or if you're at a wall, this left foot could be on the wall. Or you can stack your right shin on top of your left shin to fold forward. Or thread your right thigh over your left thigh to fold forward. These are all ways to externally rotate the outer hip. And then finally, you might have your right knee forward, your left leg long behind you. And wherever you are, you might find that you want to move your torso modestly to the right or to the left side. You might find that small shifts of how you place your body greatly influence how you feel your outer hip. Just keep opening up to yourself. Does anyone need more assistance? Give me a little wave. Nope. Okay, good. Another in this little section is called I Will Keep Broken Things by Alice Walker. She wrote, I will keep broken things, the big clay pot with raised iguanas chasing their tails, 2 of their wise heads sheared off. I will keep broken things. The old slave market basket brought to my door by Mississippi, a jagged hole gouged in its sturdy dark oak side. I will keep broken things. The memory of those long, delicious night swims with you. I will keep broken things. In my house, There remains an honored shelf on which I will keep broken things. Their beauty is they need not ever be fixed. I will keep your wild, free laughter. Though it is now missing, it's reassuring and graceful. Oh, sorry. I will keep your wild, free laughter. Though it is now missing its reassuring and graceful hinge. I will keep broken things. Thank you so much. I will keep broken things. I will keep you, pilgrim of sorrow. I will keep myself. I used to think I was so broken, so damaged, like beyond repair, irreparably damaged. Anyone else consider themselves that way? Ever? Yeah, soft jaw, soft face, soft eyes. If that voice that wants to control starts to announce itself, tell it to shut up. Tell it to listen. Maybe you can sink a little bit more. Let's inhale together. Exhale, sigh. Or release your legs, let them maybe stay knees bent or lengthen them long. If you're folded forward in some way, lift yourself up. Pause. If you're in sleeping swan, walk your hands in. Give yourself a few moments to simply notice the rebound, the surge. When you feel ready, you can give yourself a few moments to release, roll, or shift. As you're ready, change sides. So the left ankle could cross onto the right knee. You could lift that right foot up and draw the thigh in toward the belly, or the left shin stacks on top of the right shin and you fold forward. Or the right thigh wraps on top of the left thigh and you fold forward. I'm sorry, left over right. Or that sleeping swan, sometimes known as pigeon pose, with your left leg forward. Again, position, yourself so you feel it in your left outer hip. Every time you lift your face, Katerina, I'm going to blow you kisses. Anyone who wants to lift your face, I'll blow you kisses. Bernadine, I see you. Hi, Mike. I'm sure you all know the song by Leonard Cohen. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Can be astonishing, all of the effort we exert to try to hold things together. There are beautiful book titles. Pema Chodron has one called When Things Fall Apart. Elizabeth Lesser has one called Broken Open. Sometimes I get impulses to say things and I doubt whether I should. The book Broken Open was given to me by a friend, like a casual friend. I don't know why she gave me this book, but she gave me this book. And I read it and I mailed it to my younger sister. And this was a bunch of years ago, but now all three of us are divorced. But the book Broken Open is really vignettes or stories of people's lives and the author's own experience also, but about how the calamity, the thing that would be resisted with all our might, the thing that we would never wish for, is the portal into and through whatever may be required or maybe simply coming. She recently gave me another book, that same casual friend, and I'm like, I wonder how my life is going to change from this one. I hear some of you asking, it's the Untamed book by Glennon Doyle. Is it called Untamed? Untamable, I think it's called. That's right here, the cover. Untamed, yeah. Inhale here. Exhale, sigh. Walk your hands in. Give yourself a moment to pause, to feel the rush. To wiggle or shimmy, release. And let's go ahead and shift up. Shift up onto hands and knees. So if you don't have blocks, but you have one blanket or two blankets or cushions, the blankets or the cushions could be an extra support. I'm gonna dim my screen so that's more evident. You'll have your knees beneath your hips and you'll arch your spine. Maybe your forearms will come onto the blanket so your forehead can drop down. This is really just raising the ground. You don't even need that. You could practice without any support at all. And if you have blocks and feel inclined to do so, you can have your blocks, I'll say medium height, although tall is available and small is too. And you'll have your elbows on the edge of the block that's a little closer to you so that, again, your armpits can open. Maybe your thumbs even come toward the back of your neck. So again, that was like very rapid sort of smorgasbord of options. Please let me know if I can be helpful. So you could simply practice what's often called heart chakra pose, anahatasana. Or if you have blankets, you could have your forearms on the blankets, which is actually quite nice. Maybe I'll start to, if we ever get back in the yoga studio, I might even offer this with the blankets. Or blocks. Arlene, if you wanted to, you could walk your knees a little further back. So if anyone does that, if the knees come a little further back, you'll have more of a curve in your spine. So you'll have more extension along the length of the spine.
I just have a question.
Sure.
What's the difference between this and praying mantis? Like, I'm having trouble following it.
It is praying mantis.
Oh, it is praying mantis. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you called it a different pose. Okay.
Oh no, well, heart chakra pose, anahatasana, when you don't have the blocks, like in active yoga, we often would just call that a heart chakra pose or anahatasana. But with the blocks, praying mantis, it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I love the Elizabeth Lesser book too. I'll give it a plug.
Yeah. I think every woman in the world is going to read this book. I recommend it. And there is a section in there I was reading. She talks about boys. She talks about being a parent and how she might be treating her boys differently than her girls. And man, I think everybody should read it. And I'm sorry, I know there are at least 3 men practicing today. Little girls, we're raised reading the stories of men. We call it history. We're always, the movies are all about the male character. The women are all supporting characters. It's so rare that it's focused on the woman, unless she's an object of desire. Not always, and it's changing. But I think men should read this book. And I don't know if many will or would, but if nothing else, read that one chapter. It's short, it's like 3 pages. Yeah. Shall I get off my soapbox? Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. This one, I remember sharing this one with Anthony. He was in the class when I shared it and he loved this one. So I've read it in this class before. It's called Instructions for the Journey. Pat Schneider wrote, "The self you leave behind is only a skin you have outgrown. Don't grieve for it. Look to the wet, raw, unfinished self, the one you are becoming. The world, too, sheds its skin. Politicians, cataclysms, ordinary days. It's easy to lose this tenderly unfolding moment. Look for it as if it were the first green blade after a long winter. Listen for it as if it were the first clear tone in a place where dawn is heralded by bells. And if all that fails, wash your own dishes, rinse them, stand in your kitchen at your sink, Let cold water run between your fingers. Feel it. Let's inhale. And go ahead and walk your knees closer to the blocks or the blanket or just forward so you can release out of the shape with as little distress as possible, and choose to come to a child's pose maybe, or to simply sit on your heels. And then go ahead and we'll lay on the belly, lie on the belly. If you have a blanket or two, you might want to lay down on the blanket so that the top edge of the blanket is right about where your rib cage is, so that when you lay down, you have space. You have space for your gifts, for your body. If you don't have a blanket or don't want to use one, that's fine. You might like a block or a blanket near the top of your mat. So from here, you'll bring the left arm in the back, the right arm in the front, lying down. Let your palms face the sky. You got it, Mike? Yeah, cool. So kind of like the bottom part of the arms and eagle pose arms laying on your belly. You could tuck your toes under and sort of roll your body forward a little bit, and then untuck your toes and let your forehead come down toward the ground. Clear-ish?
So, Corina, I have problems with my burses and my shoulders. So how could I modify this? It's really
You could, let's see. Would you want to try just one arm at a time and not bring it so far? Like, bring your left arm, let me dip my screen. Bring your left arm in front and just kind of be out and roll forward a little bit modestly at a time.
okay. Try that.
Would that work? Okay. Keep me posted, Roger.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. I just want to remind all of you how heroic you are, how courageous, how I mean, in general, for sure. And then, like, there is certainly a comfort to practicing in your own home, but there's also so many other compelling reasons to move away from yourself, to move away from the challenge or the discomfort. And so to let yourself really sink and stay present is a true act of discipline, determination. We're going to change sides. So inhale and lift your head And slide your hands in toward their sides. You can sort of wiggle worm your shoulders, your elbows, and then underneath the left arm in the front. Walk your hands to opposite sides, and Roger, maybe just try the right arm across now. Hmm. Mm. Rumi wrote in a poem, I said, "What about my eyes?" He said, "Keep them on the road." I said, "What about my passion?" He said, "Keep it burning." I said, "What about my heart?" He said, "Tell me what you hold inside it." I said, "Pain and sorrow." He said, "Stay with it. The wound is the place where the light enters you." Oh. Hmm. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and lift your head. Slide your hands back to their respective sides. Maybe you jellyfish your shoulders, roll your wrists, turn your head. Roll over onto your back. Draw your knees into your belly. Give them a good squeeze. Did that work, Roger? A thumbs up? Yeah, thank you. Draw your knees into your belly. You can roll a little bit, rock a little bit. And sad as it is, we have to come into Shavasana now. When you're in school and you're bad, they keep you after for detention. But when it's yoga and you're good, we want to keep you longer. You get to choose if you want your palms up or your palms down. Get cozy. A poem called Rapture by she wrote, who knows the mysteries of the poppies when you look across the red fields, or hear the sound of long thunder, then the saving rain. Everything beautiful. The solitude of the single body, or sometimes two, when the body is kissed on the lips or hands or eyelids tender. Oh, for the pleasure of living in a body. It may one day be, this is a world haunted by happiness, where people finally are loved in the light of leaves, the feel of bird wings passing by. Here, it might be that no one wants power. They don't want more. And so they are in the forest, old trees, or those small but grand. And when you sleep, rapture, beauty may seek you out. Listen, there is secret joy, sweet dreams you may never forget. How worthy the being in the human body. If when you are there, you see women waiting on the water and clouds in the valley, the smell of rain, or a lotus blossom rises out of round green leaves, remember, there is always something besides our own misery. If you did set an intention that you would listen during practice, maybe this is the deepest listening. inhale, really just savor the feeling of the breath. Watch it travel throughout the whole body. If not the breath itself, then the energy that the breath propels. And exhale, let it wash out of you. Maybe you start to make small gestures, however you enjoy, kind of waking yourself back up. And then eventually bending your knees, curling into a little ball on your right side, pausing there, hugging in on you. Cozying up to you, saying, I will keep you, I will keep myself. And go ahead and build your way back up to sitting, returning to a comfortable cross-legged position. Such a fruition. Close your eyes. The gifts of your yoga practice keep giving. They get deeper and more expansive. A sense of calm, a sense of ease, and then a sense of joy, a sense of fullness, gratitude, generosity. Unfolding and unfolding as you keep expanding into who you are, who and what you are. If you have time and want to journal it all, lessons you learned or messages you got from your body or your heart, your spirit or your soul, maybe ask the next questions. Okay, what's the next step? What are the actions I need to take? In any event, bring your hands into prayer. Lift your heart, bow your head, and if you would like to conclude with an audible om, join me in chanting. If you like an internal om or a silent om or simply feel it, we'll inhale together. Guide your arms behind you. Your right hand holds your left wrist. Your left thumb and forefinger touch. Shine your heart to the sky. Lead with your heart. Fold forward. Exhaling to seal in your practice.